Hey fam, Sarah here. Welcome back to our channel. So in today's video, I'm sharing with you guys a week's worth of meals specific to dinner ideas. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to share just kind of what my family ate throughout the week. If you're new here, I'm a mom of 5, so we are a large family of 7, and dinners are interesting. Like, you know, cooking for a large family is somewhat of a challenge sometimes, and coming up with ideas is always a tricky part for me. So I thought it'd be interesting just to share what we had throughout the week. The first thing that I'm actually sharing with you guys is this beef stew, and I love this beef stew because it's a simple meal that I can just put together in the crock pot, and when it's cooking, I kind of leave it all day to do its thing. That's my favorite thing about it. I don't have to really tend too much after the prepping stage is done. So I love that. And my family absolutely loves this recipe. So I usually start off with some beef broth, but truth be told, as I got into the recipe, I realized I had no beef broth. And I even checked in my pantry. I was all out, you guys. So what I did was end up just making a mixture using the packet mix as well as just water. And yeah, it works perfectly fine. I've done it before. And of course, when you're adding in your carrots and onions and, you know, potatoes and things like that, they do lend flavor to your stew. So I also use a lot of seasoning, guys. I'm very heavy-handed when it comes to seasonings because I love my food to be extremely flavorful. I am a Caribbean girl at heart, and our food typically is super flavorful. So that's what I did for this really, really easy recipe. But the only thing is, with this kind of recipe, it does take time, all the peeling and all the chopping and those types of things. It's not like a hurried type of meal for sure. It's definitely something you have to kind of invest the time in because it just takes a little bit. And to be fair, I have older teenage girls, and some might say, why aren't they helping? But it's a very busy season for all of us. My girls were doing homework. I have some at work. So it's just, you know, it's been a very busy season for us all. And there are evenings when they are able to help and kind of completely almost take over when it comes to dinner, and I can have them watch it. But then there are times like this where I'm just like in there just getting it done out of the way. And on this day, I actually started it early. So they did come home when I already kind of had most of it prepped anyways, but I started it early because I needed it to be cooking while they were away. So that's my excuse for today. It's been a minute since I showed you guys what's going on inside the pot. The meat is still obviously tough because, I mean, I started this baby a little bit late. So we got to cook it down, and it is cooking on low, as I showed you guys before. Cooked it on high first, then brought it to low. And we're just going to cook it for several more hours till it is super soft. I was definitely contemplating putting these potatoes in them because I don't know what was up, but they're definitely a little bit softer. They're not like tough potato. So I guess they'll make for a good sauce, a good sauce in there, I guess. We'll add the starch to help thicken what's going on in here. So originally I was just going to do the stew, but then at the very last minute, I thought, you know what? I think we need a little bit more carbs because I realized I didn't put that many potatoes in. So that's what the rice is about. I'm making a jasmine rice, and I'm really loving this little rice, was it colander type rinser bowl that I just got because it has these little holes that helps the water just flows right out. It's very, very simple, and I'm not losing as much rice grains as I used to. So absolutely loving that. And then, yeah, I'm just kind of getting that together. So it can prepare by the time my stew is done. And it's looking really, really good. By this point, the house is smelling fantastic. And then I'm just going to have you guys see a little bit of me just preparing to serve for the family before we dive right into the next meal that we had. I like to serve because if I don't, I find that some kids will serve a little bit more than others. And sometimes, not that this wasn't going to be a large enough meal that we would have a ton left over, but it's the worst when people serve too much, their eyes are bigger than their stomachs, and then ends up wasting food. So we don't want that, which is why I like to end up kind of just serving food. I'm in the kitchen cooking right now, and honestly, it is really early, but I got a big family and I need to feed them. After coming out of a week of just kind of eating on the street because hubby was away for a week, I'm committed, you know, to start cooking at home again like I should. But that doesn't mean it's easy. Oh. But that doesn't mean it's always easy. It doesn't mean that I always want to. So the trick for me today is to start early. It is actually 3:10 and I've already started cooking really early. That way my cooking is going to be out of the way and I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to make some beans, which I'm going to meal prep for myself. And then I have some chicken. I'm making some chicken today. I'm gonna call this makeshift chicken. It's curry chicken, and I can still cook it in a way that is flavorful and very tasty. It may not be the traditional Jamaican way. That I'm not doing that today because I'm using chicken breast, which I don't even like to use for curry to begin with. It's just, it doesn't have the same level of flavor because we all know bones contribute to flavor. So straight away, you know, it's not the same. Also, in terms of the seasonings, I'm using mostly seasonings. I'm not chopping up a whole bunch of stuff right now. Just not, because it's not a traditional Jamaican curry chicken. But it's just curry chicken and it's very tasty regardless. There are more than one ways to do things, but if you're say craving or really wanting to cook traditional Jamaican chicken, I do recommend you looking up a recipe. What I'm doing is kind of burning some curry in the middle, because what this was chicken that I had to cook from semi-frozen. It was still a little frozen, difficult to work with, and I basically cooked it down till it was like pretty much close to being cooked, and then I was burning the curry in the middle, and then I'm just going to mix it up together. Like I said, this isn't traditional, but it is still, you know, if you know how to cook the traditional way, you can still throw in your little thing and mix up something real quick that can still taste flavorful. Okay guys, so I've gone ahead and added some water to it, and just to kind of cook it down, I'm going to turn down the stove, turn it down to about 3, that's probably more like 5 actually, and then we're going to cover it. So the meal for day 3 was very, very simple. I didn't show too much of the process here, but I'm just making tilapia and I'm just pan frying them. They are from frozen, and yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. And I'm gonna be serving this with rice again. So we're having rice twice this week, but I'm not mad because it was kind of a simple go-to. I didn't have a lot of other like produce, and honestly, people haven't been loving quinoa. Only that's like stuff that I will eat. So rice is a common go-to. I'm serving it with also some veggies because I definitely like to keep some veggies in the mix, like for the fam. I do want to point out that these are frozen veggies, and I've been hearing a debate about frozen veggies being better just because when they were collected, their nutrients and stuff got to stay in there, whereas in fresh produce, they lose their nutrients as they sit on the shelf. You guys let me know if which one is accurate, because I'm not sure. But here I am just doing my due diligence and serving these kids again. I just find it better to not waste food. I also want to point out, whenever I share out food, I always share my hubby first. I don't know. Let me know if as a wife, a mom, whoever you are, do you do that? Because I just love to do that. So this next meal is a very simple one. It is corned beef and cabbage. Now the corned beef for some reason it gets a bad rep sometimes. I don't know why. I'm not sure. But anyways, long story short, my family like it, and so we cook it. We make it here and there because it is something from a can, so it's not always the best, and it's also salty. So you just have to be mindful. It's not something you can go to all the time. Anyways, I just like to add it with cabbage because cabbage just mutes it out. It's kind of like a sweet taste with the salty, and it's very flavorful. Tonight I made it just with some potatoes that I just kind of simmered down inside the pot. And overall, it's a very, very simple meal, but it was very tasty. Everyone enjoyed it. I chuckled, as I said, everyone, because truth be told, the little kids ended up having chicken fingers in the background. They don't like cabbage and they don't like potatoes. What in this world? And I think that's definitely one of the struggles for cooking meals for a big family, just trying to get everyone on board to enjoy your meal. And for the most part, all my family eats what we eat. It's just the little kids that struggle sometimes. So anyways, moving on, this next day, I think this was Thursday, because Friday in our house is actually pizza day. So I was so excited for Friday to come. But on this day, I said I was going to make some soup. Not making myself some soup, but make some soup because my daughters have been requesting this. I've made this soup for them a few times. And it's spaghetti squash soup. And we just kind of peel it, chop them up in cubes, and roast it down in the pot. This was a crucial part, adding olive oil in the pot, roasting it down to brown the squash because it brings out the flavors. Guys, when I tell you that when we just tried it by itself from the pot after it was kind of like basically very like soft, this is when it's still at the beginning stages, but when it softens out, it tastes so good. I don't remember doing that. So I'm telling you, like, it doesn't matter if you're a seasoned cook, you live and you learn. I'm still learning because this was a new thing that I learned. That's why you saw me at the beginning. I was kind of looking over at my iPad, trying to just get a quick idea as to what people put in there. And soups like this they're simple to make because they don't require too many ingredients. Squash, you could make 2 or 3 ingredient squash, four ingredient squash soup. So this was really, really simple. I put onions, garlic, and just the squash and seasoning and butter. It was delicious, guys. When I tell you, and my family, I think, broke crackers on top of it. So I was really pleased with myself with this. I definitely think you should try it. These are definitely fall flavored things to make. It's just simple meals that you can prepare for your family. And a simple meal that can also help your weeks go by faster because it was one that didn't have me in the kitchen for too long, though I was still preparing stuff that required chopping up because that's always the tedious part. But this one went by fast. Peeling in a squash and chopping it up didn't take too much time. So yeah, guys, that is it. I'm very ecstatic to be at the end of this video, but I'm so glad that I got to share with you a week worth of meals. We ended up eating out the next day and the day after that because it was Babe's birthday. So I kind of cheated. I didn't have like 6 days worth of meals. I think it was 5, and I hope that will make do. Let me know how you guys feel about cooking. As a mom, it can be so daunting sometimes throughout a day. It's like it's busy and chaotic, and it's just another thing that's on the agenda. I'm finding meal planning to be the key. If I plan it out, then I won't be in doubt on the day of, because if I'm in doubt, oh my goodness, it just stresses me out. But yeah, let me know if you can empathize with me on this topic, because I know a lot of moms find it to be a challenge, but we as a family are trying to not eat out all the time because food is expensive, okay? And there's no point in spending double on food, as in filling our freezer with food that costed so much and then always buying on the outside. So we do have our one special day inside our house where we can eat out, and we're trying to stick to that, though it's not always easy, but we're trying. And so if you guys want to see some more of these meal ideas, I am down for making these kinds of videos for you. So let me know in the comment section, as well as hit the like button, as well as, guys, I would love to see the watch time kind of up on this video if y'all are liking it, right? Like, you're not going to only just watch halfway through. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Turn on your notification bell so you can get all of our latest videos. And until next time, guys, I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.